Okay, tournament report time. I just got back from a rather long day at locals. So I went 3-1-1 today using raccoons. I used raccoons for both today's and yesterday's locals. I didn't do a thing for yesterday, so I honestly can't remember too much about it. I know I beat a cup. I know I went 3-1 on that at that local out of 4 rounds. So for this particular local, 3-1-1, one draw. Round one, I played against what I'm gonna call casual hat.deck, because like it was clearly hat. Like when I saw what he played in game two, it was clear that it was hat. It was hand artifact trap tricks, but it was a lot more. It wasn't like full-on competitive. It was a bit more fun, sort of casual sort of thing, because he was playing stuff like Swords of Revealing Light, Nightmare Steel Cage, basically just attempting to storm me out of stuff. So that was kind of a thing, and he was also running stuff like Traptrix A-Trax, which is actually kind of interesting. Like if I ever decide to try out hat.deck in the future, provided it doesn't get hit by this ban list that's about to be announced, then I might. Then I'm thinking of actually taking in a Traptrix A-Trax, because it's not a bad card, to be perfectly honest. So did that, won that 2-0. Then round two I played against Evols. Game one was actually rather pretty. I pretty much maintained a semblance of a board for the most of the game and managed to take it out. I managed to get round a Solder pretty easily. Dropped it with Evo Singularity. So that was sort of a thing. Game two, I opened terribly and just sort of went south there. And then game three, went into time not too long after starting the game. I managed to get advantage by dropping Electric Virus onto a Lagia he had, so I ran that over, forced his Mirror Force out as well, so ended up hitting that out. And so we did that. I was actually surprised that he tried forcing it out anyways, because it was just kind of a thing. But that, yeah, so that was a thing. Went into time, and then I got shafted by a Solder right at the back end of game three, and so I ended up actually going south from that. It was pretty much my match to lose, and I lost it, so that was kind of a thing. So I lost that 2-1. Round three, I played against Spirit Hands. Took out the first game after. It was actually quite a long first game. I think it took maybe like 15-20 minutes. So we went through that. Managed to pull a very mediocre hand out of the fire and took that one out. Game two, sided in virtually the nuts. I don't think I saw a whole lot of it from what I remember. I think my memory of the round three is rather foggy. But we went into time for game two, and I managed to get. Yeah, I managed to get him down to a lot of life points, but then he managed to break my Sandayu lock, get over that, and then basically hit me for a shit ton of damage. And on the last move, which would have won me the game, but he ended up, because I dropped a 2300 token copying his King Gremlin, and he had a face-up attack mode, Kage, and he went and he went and Needle Stealing as I attacked, which kind of sucked. So that was one win each. That was one game each to us, so that was the draw. Round four, I played against. Who was it I played against round four? I actually can't remember now. I believe I 2-0'd it. Yeah, I can't remember what I played round four. That sucks. Oh yes, I played Agents. Basically, he couldn't, he focuses a lot on dropping Krista, which would have royally screwed me up. The only big monster, however, that he actually dropped was Hyperion, and I bottomlessed it very quickly. So I took out, that was in game 1, so I took that one out after getting over his Venus Gachi play. He then went the Venus, I think he went Venus Gachi again, game 2, and no, he didn't go Venus Gachi game 2. He basically just went for plan B and tried to set up a whole bunch of beat sticks. Like, he had Gaia Knight, the Force of Earth, so he tried running it over that, but I just kept creating bigger beat sticks by using that Gaia Knight as the source of getting my Sandayu tokens on the board with big attack points, and I had a Closed Forest, which just jacked them up even further. So I did that, won that one 2-0, and then round 5 I played against RulerSworn. So for the first game, I remember having sort of a meh-ish hand, but managed to get something. I managed to get I managed to draw into an Obedient Schooled, got those plays going, and then managed to drop a 41 Junk Warrior and a 41. And managed to have a 41 Sandayu token along with it, so I OTK'd him there. Game 2, I opened literally nothing, so I opened pathetically. It happens. Just game 3. Game 3, he managed to get a field of Dracosac, JD. Would have hit me for exact game had I not had the Swift Scarecrow. And then he went for the second JD, overlaid for what do you call him? Felgrand, but I managed to get around it by going. I dropped the first Sandayu, used it, baited out the Felgrand, and then used Ayers Rock Sunrise to bring back the Wind-Up Kitten from my graveyard, and then bounce the Felgrand, and because the Dracosac tripped itself to blow up something, if I recall. No, did it? I think it was still on the board, if I remember correctly. No, wait, no, he did get rid of it. He got rid of it to blow something up. I can't remember whether it was the turn before I went over him or the following turn. But basically, I did that. I had the double Sandayu. I ran over. I then ran over his Luminar. He had the Luminar on board, and basically just cleared his board. He then dropped another JD, blew that up, and then and at that point he misplayed because he blew up he blew up the his own breakthrough skill and then tried to use it in the same turn, and I'm just like, no, you can't do that, and he himself was just like, oh shit, I completely fucked that one up, and that actually ended up costing him the game because I then proceeded to put 2 3k tokens on the board, got one of them to run over the JD, and then I only did 1,000 damage because he had 2 Necrogardener, and then for his last play he managed to pull 2 Dragon Rulers out of the graveyard, make a big eye, which I then proceeded to Blackhorn, and then that was it. So took that out, went 3-1-1, made top 8, played Scraps in the top 8. Basically ran him over with a 49 Junk Warrior. No, 5,000. Exactly 5,000 Junk Warrior game 1. Game 2, just kept sending everything back to my hand with Scrap Twin Dragon and beating over with 3,200 beats. So that was kind of terrible. And then game 3, I fucked up really freaking horridly because I went Obedient Schooled right into a Chain Disappearance, and I went for Iron Wall to stop it, but he had 3 other back row, and one of them was bound to be an MST, and yes, it was. It pissed me off the most because I had a wiretap down, and really should have just gone the wiretap, just not even think about it, just gone for the wiretap. I think my thought process was, if he had a wiretap of his own, I could tap his wiretap, so, I don't know. To be honest, I think just straight up wiretapping was probably the better choice. I think either way he would have screwed me over. Like if he had the wiretap, it probably wouldn't have mattered. He would have being able to MST it is easy. He would not waste a wiretap on it. I know how good a player he is, so he kind of screwed me over there. I managed to get one of my Tans back by actually using Elephant's effect, which I'll explain in the deck list when I get around to that. So that sort of happened. He then just beat me over for the rest of the as soon as we went into time, and then he just beat me over, and then that was it. So I got knocked out. I finished up top 8. I didn't get where I actually finished exactly, but I top 8'd, so that's enough of a that's enough to make me content, I suppose. So that's that for this tournament report. Yeah, that's it. So see you for the deck list, the updated deck list for my Raccoons, or whenever that is. I don't know. I might not do it tonight, so whatever happens. But just enough rambling. Latest.